cementing agent that holds together this country. And that is why they say if you go anywhere you don't find Onyibo, you can't stay there. Your Excellency, we welcome you to Imo State. This state has 27 local governments blessed with abundant human and material resources. We gave Nigeria its first Olympic individual gold medal, Chioma Ajunwa. Recently, members of the Super Falcons that brought Nigeria the trophy for a very long time has 7 Imo citizens in that group, Your Excellency. Imo people are great industrialists, inventors, entrepreneurs, and farmers. In fact, we Igbos, we are known as the Jews of Nigeria. Because if you give us the desert, we'll turn it into a plantation. You give us the swamp, we'll turn it into a modern market. That is what we do as Igbos. We, as Igbos, have contributed to everything that makes Nigeria great as a country. And we welcome you to the eastern heartland of Imo State, where our visionary leader is His Excellency, the distinguished Senator, Hope Odedeka Ozodinma Onwa. You can see the love and respect His Excellency gets in our state. He's not alone in his leadership without having to duplicate protocol. He is running the state very well alongside his deputy governor, the speaker, and members of the House of Assembly, his chief of staff, SSG, and the entire Imo State Expanded Executive Council. And on the traditional side of things, our traditional rulers are revered, led here by the chairman, Imo State Council of Ndieze, the very distinguished His Royal Majesty Eze Dr. E.C. Okeke CFR, who is seated here. And also very close by him is also the chairman, Imo State Council of Elders, His Royal Majesty Eze Cletus Ilo Manya. You somewhere, His Excellency is our former governor in whom we are proud of, His Excellency Chief Ikedion Hakim. We have here great Imo citizens and leaders who are seated. The list is endless. For the sake of protocol, let us get into the meat of the matter and we'll recognize them where time permits. Mr. Cyril Stover.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I might take a few moments to officially recognize a quick rundown of the progressive governors who, either here in person or are ably represented at this great occasion. Let me start off by acknowledging the chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum, who is the governor of Kwara State, Malam Abdul Rahman Abdul Razak. Let me also mention other APC governors, His Excellency Sheriff Francis Ogorewori of Delta State, His Excellency Hyacinth Alea of Benue State, His Excellency Professor Babagana Umara Zulum of Borno State, His Excellency Barrister Basio Tu, Cross River State, His Excellency Right Honorable Francis Nwifuru of Ebonyi State, His Excellency Monday Okpewolo, Governor of Edo State, His Excellency Bionu Oyebanji of Ekiti State, His Excellency Muhammad Inua Yahya of Gombe State. Of course, the host governor we have here, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma. Let me acknowledge His Excellency Umar Namadi of Jigawa State, His Excellency Ubasani of Kaduna State, His Excellency Diko Umar Rada of Katsina State, His Excellency Nasser Idris of Kebbi State, His Excellency Ahmed Usman Ododo of Kogi State, His Excellency Abdurrahman Abdurazak, His Excellency Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu of State, His Excellency Abdullahi A. Sule of Nasarawa State, His Excellency Mohammed Umaru Bago, Governor of Niger State and my Governor, His Excellency Dakwa Abiodun of Ogun State, His Excellency Lucky Ayedatiwa of Ondo State, His Excellency Ahmed Aliyu, Governor of Sokoto State, and of course, His Excellency Baimala Buni, Governor of Yobe State. We do acknowledge their presence or the presence of their representatives at this great occasion. Virginia.
Thank you very much, Cyril. If you look very closely to that side, you will see His Excellency Chief Olusegun Oshoba. Because you know, Cyril, if we don't talk about him, he might sack us from journalism. We greet you, sir. We see you. Thank you, sir. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, APC National Working Committee members are here. We salute and greet you and we welcome you. Earlier in the day, Your Excellency, Chief Oke Bakassi had mentioned that Her Excellency, the First Lady of Imo State, is the most beautiful First Lady in the country. And because Chief Oke Bakassi is my brother, I'm not even contesting it for today, so we'll leave it there. Having left it there, Your Excellency, sir, we are so pleased to join Imo State citizens to welcome His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Give him a big, big Imo State round of applause. And in spite of the weather, His Excellency, who is a people's person, has been commissioning in Imo State. We thank you, sir. We appreciate your presence. I'm truly honored to be joining you today at this official launch book presentation by the first citizen of Imo State, chairperson of Progressive Governors Forum, my brother and political leading light, His Excellency, Governor of Imo State, the very distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma. Our hearts are full of joy because, as you already know, writing a book is very hard work. The many sleepless nights, the arid afternoons, early morning inspiration, the research, the distraction. But we're truly excited, like pregnancy, the book is now born. A truly important book at such a time as this. A decade of impactful progressive governance in Nigeria, birthed in Imo State, researched across Nigeria, now being launched in Owerri, to the glory of God. We are, as I told you earlier, a trio of directors of ceremony. My name is Eugenia Abu, and I'm absolutely delighted to be in Owerri for this all-important event. Ndewon. Dalo. As the region of my in-laws, my son is married from here, my elder sister is married from this region, I must show some love to Imo people before Sim throw me out. I welcome you all and I'm delighted to be here. Cyril?
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, the great significance of the kola nut to our cultures and tradition, the unifying factor, as they say, grown in the north, eaten in the west and the east, and revered in the south and all over Nigeria. And as they say, the kola nut does not speak English. May I therefore, in reference to this unifying fruit, which plays a significant role in our culture and traditions, now request one who knows appropriately how to introduce the breaking of kola nut, and is in waiting himself, Chief Oke Bakassi, tell us about the introduction of the kola nut.
Thank you very much, the great Cyril Stover. Kola nuts is how we share communion in Igbo land. But before we make that formal presentation, permit me to just quickly recognize some of the royal fathers in our midst. Earlier on, I did recognize the chairman of the Imo State Council of Traditional Rulers and Council of Elders. But seated around them as well, we have the very revered His Royal Majesty, Igwe Nnemeka Alfred Achebedi Obi of Onitsha, Abogidi. We recognize, please, a round of applause. We also have His Royal Majesty, Adeyeye Nitogunsi, the Oni of Ife, Oba Ojaja II, please, a round of applause. We also have His Royal Majesty, Obang of Kala, Didem Ekpo Konabasi, round of applause. We have His Royal Majesty, Alhaji Yahya Abubakar. Of course, we have from our brothers, River State, His Royal Majesty, King Dr. Edmond M. Dakuru, the Mingi the 12th, the Amayinabo of Nembe Kingdom. We recognize you. Alongside countless number of traditional rulers, we have faith leaders, lots of them, more than 10 bishops in attendance. We recognize all of you. AJ Moj, Nali Bojana Nubeke, Iweputara J, Wo Otendi Bonese Gosina Nabatalanda Pia. That is to say, once kola nut is presented in Igbo land, it signifies that as a guest you've been warmly received. And this is how we share communion. That is why it's special. Do that, or permit me to invite the Secretary to the State Government, Imo State Government, please. A round of applause for Chief Cosmos Iwu. He will do the formal presentation and traditional rites of kola nut.
Thank you, okay, Bakas. Your Excellency, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellency, Professor Mentewe Yatade, National Chairman of APC. Your Excellency, Senator Godswill Akpabio, the President of the Senate. Your Excellency, Senator Hope Uzodimma, the Governor of Imo State. Let me recognize the dignitaries here present. Oh, yeah. Let me also thank the Royal Majesties for today's occasion, for honoring this invitation. My job is simple. That is to welcome our guests with our own traditional way. Imoji, presentation of kola nut. Ohaneze ndewonu. Ejimaha, the local organizing committee. Nabata, especially our president, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, the Commander-in-Chief,
the armed forces, and the president of our great country, Nigeria.
Hello.
Your Excellency the Governor, because you should obey yourself. Here, Waji, when you're not about to
Thank you, thank you. Just the touch. Thank you. Excellency, come back. Take you to the traditional rulers. Now go see traditional rulers. Go ahead.
Colonel writes.
Here, Unuguta Oji gbara n'Imo steeti taa maka onye isi anyị bụ president Bola Ahmed Tinubu, onye nke Chukwu hụrụ n'anya were mee ihe olekwa Lagos ọfụma, Lagos steeti ofu Chineke ahụ ewerekwa mee ya ọwụrụ president Nigeria na-eme ọfụma, ihe niile mebiri emebi a na-agbaji ọfụma ugbu a. Ana m asịkwa ọkwa ofu Chineke ahụ ga-emekwa ihe ọlachiekwa second tenor ya gekwe were rụzuo ihe niile ka ọ na-arụ arụ Nigeria ewere zuo oke. Anyị na-asị prezidenti anyị bịala eji ohere n'aha ndị eze niile Imo steeti na South East were na-asị gị bịala. Ọjị ka anyị bụ n'aka, ọjị a ga-eje nnukwute ije. Ọdụ ndị na-anụ n'asụsụ ọjị a na ndị na-anụ ya gwara aka. Aga m ebu ụzọ si n'aha ndị eze Imo steeti, ana m eburu ọjị a sị ka anyị ji Obi of Onitsha ka ozi ụmụnne anyị ndị si na region ọzọ as our leader.
It's important that you pay attention to this part of the ceremony.
Obi.
Abobidi. Your Excellency, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Your Excellency, Governor Hope Uzodimma, Buko Nkonye Chinyazenu, Mmadụ niile ebe a ka ndị ọchịchị obodo, ndị eze, ndị ụkọchukwu, ndị nna anyị ụkọchukwu, a na-ekene onye ọbụla. Afọ m ọjị ebutelu n'afọ ndị eze ndị niile si esi wee bịa, ka ndị si ugwu, ka ndị si ndịda, ndị si ọwụwa anyanwụ, ka ndị si ọdịda anyanwụ. Biko afọ m ọjị, anabatara m ọjị. Ọjị eze gara n'aka eze.
Metọkwa elu ebe a. Anyị nwere chairman anyị, National Council. I want you to touch this column. Say, Oji eze n'aka. Asị ọ ga-adịrị anyị mma. Anyị na-ekele Chineke nke mere gọvanọ anyị jiri nwee ike ịgba mbọ na ihe niile nke ọ na-eme kemgbe ụbọchị. Were gbarịrị mee ka anyị niile na ha keta n'udo na ọṅụ taa ebe a. Mmadụ niile zuo oke ma ụma. Anyị si otu dịrị gị Chineke. Bịakwa gbaa ya ume. Mee ka ụkwụ ndị ele ji bịa ebe a ka ha ga-eji alachi ya. Bịakwa gbukapụrụ anyị ihe ike na ihe mberede, ihe arụ na ihe ụjọ na-ama mgbe o mere. Ka ọjị anyị na-akpọ ebe a taa ka ọ bụrụ ihe ga-adịrị Imo steeti mma bụrụ ihe ga-adịrị steeti mma bụrụ ihe ga-adịrị Naijiria niile mma ka anyị si na ọ ji enweta ahụ isi ike na ndụ ogologo site n'afọ Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, His Excellency, the Deputy Senate President, Senator Barao Jibril, and His Excellency, the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, and the host governor, His Excellency, Governor Hope Uzodinma. Let me also recognize the other governors who are present, and other distinguished ladies and gentlemen here present. Today, to me, is a privilege to stand for the first time the chairman of the party in occasion of this magnitude to welcome you to this special occasion and also stand as a proud national chairman of the custodian of the decade of transformation and a steward of the legacy that millions of Nigerians built through their resilience, their sacrifice, and belief in a better nation. Therefore, this occasion is not just merely an unveiling of a book, but a presentation of a national testament, a chronicle of courage, of challenges, and a conviction of the progressive. It is a mirror of reflecting where we have come from, and a compass pointing to where we need to go to as a country and the party also. The author reminds us that the APC, which started in 2013, was seen by skeptics as a coming together of strange bedfellows. But today, the story is different. The cynics that call us strange, history now recognizes us as visionary, that Nigeria, which we count on it then, has been forged into a conviction that Nigeria deserves more, and the change was not just possible, but it is urgent. From the foundation, Major rose a movement that will rewrite the history of the political history of Nigeria, delivering the first successful opposition victory in 2015 and planting the seed of reform, whose fruit we are reaping today. Beginning with what we've seen today, 10 years later, we have seen and are celebrating far greater than political endurance. We are celebrating transformation, delivery, and deepening of our democratic ethos. Permit me to honor the visionary and remind us of the important work of what the host governor, Governor Hope Uzodinma, a man of deep thought, seasoned governance, and strategic foresight. As the chairman of the Progressive Governance Forum, his leadership has been a stabilizing force, his intellect a guiding light, and with this publication, he has become both a chronicler and a conscience of the progressive journey. And what more can I say of our president, His Excellency, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a master strategist, a leader who has understands transformation and what it requires. That transformation is not just a comfort, but courage. If governance were an orchestra, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the conductor, blending both reform with resilience and vision with action. His leadership has ushered in an era where bold decisions are not just feared, but they're embraced. Therefore, this book will not be complete without capturing the transformative momentum already unfolding under the President. A continuation and deepening of progressive mission. Let me list a few of them. The removal of subsidy, through challenging, was an institution of historic proportion, liberating our national finances for investment that truly matters. The student loan scheme now ensures that the gates of higher institution learning are not open to only the rich, but anyone can aspire, and many of the less privileged can now go to the higher institutions. The Renewed Hope Infrastructure Fund is reshaping our landscape, rebuilding our roads, our bridges, and railways, and broadband infrastructure across the country, connecting all parts of the country and revitalizing communities. And I can go on and list so many sectors that we've actually taught as a government. But let me list that, as African proverb says, until the lion learns to write his own story, every story will glorify the hunter. Today, Governor Hope Uzodinma teaches us that the lion to write. This book is our own voice. It's our version. It's our vision of the last decade, boldly told and firmly grounded in truth. What makes this book powerful is not only the celebration of progress, but its honesty about our imperfections. Governor Hope Uzodinma does not shy away from confronting the areas that as a party and as a government we need to improve. He said we should improve on security, on internal democracy, and also in anti-corruption. This is the hallmark of maturity. It reflects the heart of a party that refuses to rest on the past glory, but constantly strives to improve. And most importantly, the book offers a roadmap for the future that is rooted in inclusive governance, youth empowerment, and strong institutions and leadership that puts the people first. It reminds us that as a party, the voter is not just a number, but they are partners in progress with the party. Dear friends and dear progressives, this launch is not just the final page, it is the opening of the paragraph of a renewed national story. Let us not simply applaud what has been done. Let us commit to the greater work ahead. Let us remember that the true essence of power is not just the position, but it lies in the service. And in the voice of the Nigerian poet, Gabriel Okara, let me live deep while I live. Let me learn all that I can, and let me give all that I have. As APC members, governors, and leaders, we will give all our integrity, our wisdom, and our best for this nation. In conclusion, I thank Governor Hope Uzodinma for this monumental contribution to the political thought and public memory. May this book be read in the classroom, taught in institutions, and passed from generation to generation. May it remind us that after us, the APC may not deal just to win election alone, but to deliver a new Nigeria where all will belong. May our great party, the All Progressive Party Congress, continue to listen, continue to learn, and to lead for the progress of every citizen of Nigeria and for the unity of our great nation. Let me thank you for listening, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you, and God bless you.
Your Excellency, we have heard from the chairman of the APC, Professor Lenkawe Iwata, who has described this book as a book of transformation and the delivery of democracy dividends, describing the governor of Imo State who has written the book as a chronicle of our conscience and the writer of our democratic journey. Isn't it wonderful to see a governor decide as the head of the Progressive Governor Forum to do a book that will stand the test of time and remain in the annals of history, of a book that talks about deepening democracy and the impact of the APC. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's see another round of applause for the chairman of the APC who has delivered that information. Your Excellency, I'd like to put on record the fact that the former APC chair, former governor of Kano State, Dr. Goodwill, is here with us. We welcome you here. In that speech, His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is described as a master strategist, a man who understands the meaning of transformation, a man who knows where to take Nigeria, a man who has done his due diligence and understands that we as a nation are in our hands. Let's give His Excellency the President a round of applause. Today we stand on the cusp of history as a yeoman's job. We congratulate you, sir. Well done. Crave your indulgence, every speaker after now, that Mr. President has several events to go to, so we now need to truly fast track. Please establish the protocol that has already been established, stay on it, especially since it has been well established, so that you mention Mr. President, our chief host, and our esteemed ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our book reviewer is Professor Bernard Chima Nwaguma, who was educated at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and the University of Westminster, United Kingdom. Of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. He has served the university in different capacities, Director of the University Bookshop, Director Advancement, and Chairman of Professor Nwaguma is a highly sought-after book reviewer, and this time from his reputation as a bibliophile with a long-standing and broad-based interest in books. He's the founder of the Book Samaritans, a campus book charity that promotes reading and book ownership. Professor Nwaguma is currently working on a book project known as Sahara Classics, whose main objective is to ensure that the classic works of art, literature, and humanities do not disappear from the bookshelves in our homes, schools, and universities. Please help me give a resounding Imo State welcome to Professor Nwaguma, who is the book reviewer. Prof, could you make your way up here? Thank you very much.
Yeah, Professor Nwaguma.
So I will keep this one here. So use this first. That one's different slide out. Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Chief Host, the Governor of Imo State, the Chairman of the occasion, the National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, and like the compare said, please permit me to most respectfully adopt the already established protocol and proceed with the book review as follows. Truth be said, I've known no greater honor than the honor of serving as a reviewer at today's book presentation. My first words, therefore, are words of appreciation, and they are directed first at His Excellency, the Governor of Imo State, the author of the book, and to the organizers of today's book presentation for this very rare opportunity to play this key role. The review. The title of the book is A Decade of Impactful Progressive Governance in Nigeria. The author, as we know, is Hope Uzodimma, whom we all recognize as Senator Hope Uzodimma, the Governor of Imo State and the Chairman of All Progressives Governors Forum. The publisher. The book was published by Scribble City Publications. Genre. The book fits into the genre of political science, or politics, if you like. Organization and structure. This book of 373 pages is organized into 10 chapters, but also includes a foreword written by Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, the former national chairman of the All Progressive Governors Congress, All Progressive Congress, APC, and contains an epilogue. The chairman, with your approval, and because of the uniqueness of the book, I intend to do a chapter-by-chapter review of the book as follows. The introduction. The author starts this book by revealing when and why he decided to write the book in the first place. Then he gives credit to the founder of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and all those who played a key role in turning this coalition of small opposition parties into the success that it has become. He wraps up the introduction by highlighting the main goals of APC and how our party took advantage of the weaknesses of the ruling PDP to mount a rather successful campaign of change in 2015. Chapter 1, the early progressive movements and parties in Nigeria. In this leading chapter of 71 pages, the author traces the history of progressive party politics in the country. He starts from the years before independence until the present time, culminating in the formation of the All Progressive Congress, APC, in 2013. In his opinion, all the nationalist movements of the pre-independence era, as well as the political parties of the First, Second, and Third Republics, had varying degrees of progressive agenda in their DNA. The grain of this chapter is the contribution of progressive governance or policies to the development of the country over the years. Chapter 2, defining progressive, a clear and concise exploration of the term. In this chapter, the author does the following. First, he defines the term progressive as applied in politics and governance, then successfully traces the origin of progressive politics to the 19th and the 20th centuries, and then makes a distinction, a very clear distinction, between progressive and conservative governance. This chapter is enriched by a section on the evolution and the impact of progressive governance in Europe, Latin America, Asia, and to a lesser extent, Africa. Chapter 3, the APC Manifesto and its core policies. In chapter 3, the author sets out to show the key progressive policies and programs which have been implemented in the last 10 years and how they represented the main tenets of the APC manifesto. He emphasizes the policies, programs around social welfare, inclusiveness, economic reforms, investment in infrastructure, the fight against corruption and insecurity, as well as the establishment of the Regional Development Commissions, etc. Chapter 4, a decade of progressive governance, sectoral achievements. And Chapter 5, progressive governance in action. Chapters 4 and 5 constitute, in my opinion, the kernel of this book. This is because in these two chapters, the author successfully highlights and discusses the many and far-reaching achievements of the APC administrations in the last decade. Prominent amongst these are the social security programs, the economic reforms, including the removal of petrol subsidy and the harmonization of efforts at job creation, poverty alleviation, infrastructural development, especially in housing and transportation infrastructure, including rail, road, air, and sea transport. The others are improved access to education and healthcare, innovation and skills development, improved food security, agriculture, environmental sustainability, security and defense. The author did not leave out the fiscal policies and reforms which have brought the much needed stability to the economy of the country. The additional information in Chapter 5 is that these policies, programs, and reforms were well thought through, articulated, and carefully implemented as part of the progressive governance. Hence, the title of Chapter 5 is Progressive Governance in Action. The chairman, I am tempted to say this, that anyone who does not have the stamina to read the entire book should go straight to chapters 4 and 5. Chapter 6, comparative analysis of pre-APC era versus APC era. In this chapter of 26 pages, the author made an interesting attempt to compare the rate of progress recorded in the country between 2005 and 2015, when the country was led by a different political party, the PDP, and the last decade between 2015 and 2025, since APC has been at the helm of affairs. The author used 5 major parameters, namely economic performance, social development, infrastructure, and the global perception of Nigeria for the comparison. The verdict is summed up in a sentence, and I quote, "In the last decade, APC governance has transformed Nigeria. Economically, Nigeria is more resilient and more reliant today than we were 10 years ago. Nigeria is also reclaiming respect globally. This is the decade that Nigeria turned the corner from years of promise to years of achievement. The Nigeria of 2025 is better than the Nigeria of 2015, by such indicators as the economy, health, education, infrastructure, and all other indices by which development is assessed," unquote. Chapter 7, the APC's approach to inclusive governance. In this chapter, the author highlighted the policies, programs, and legislations by which the APC administrations manage the diversity of the country, ensuring inclusiveness and equity between the many ethnic nationalities and marginal groups such as men, the youth, the poor, and persons living with disabilities. It is commendable that the author considered it necessary to dedicate an entire chapter to inclusiveness. In doing so, the author reiterated the fact that inclusiveness is one of the policy objectives of APC. The former President Muhammadu Buhari put this poetically when he said, "I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody." The incumbent president, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, put it more elaborately when he declared that his objective is to foster a new society based on shared prosperity, tolerance, compassion. Thank you. Chapter 8, Nigeria on the global stage. The author dedicated this chapter of 20 pages to Nigerian foreign policy. This, he said, is in keeping with the APC manifesto to work towards a more engaged, more effective, and influential Nigeria on the global scene. He also acknowledges the achievements of the two APC-led governments, not just in maintaining existing relationships, but in strengthening them. He highlights how the two APC governments improved the global standing of Nigeria and in their relationship with such key countries like America, Europe, and South Africa, and how the governments exploited these new, renewed global standing for both economic and security benefits. Common criticisms of the APC governance in the last decade. In this rather unique chapter, the author made a brave attempt to acknowledge and respond of the common criticisms which the APC-led administrations have faced over the years. Criticisms chapter bother on the management of the economy, policy direction, internal party crisis, democratic norms. Others are ineffective fight against corruption, institutions, the slow delivery of economic diversification and public service reforms, including ongoing fight against it. The inclusion of this chapter must be seen as a candid attempt by the author to write a balanced book that does not only heap praises on the party in power. Chapter 10, the way forward for democratic governance in Nigeria. In this final chapter, the author sounded quite positive and optimistic about the future of Nigeria under the watch of the All Progressives Congress. And this is due to his conviction that the policies, programs, legislations, and reforms needed to transform Nigeria have now been put in place. And he likened this to the planting of seeds which are sure to bring forth a bountiful harvest. The epilogue. In the epilogue, this author simply summed up the key achievements or successes of the APC administrations under these familiar headings of the economy, security, the fight against corruption, social welfare, infrastructure, food security, agriculture, education and health, digital economy, workers' welfare, and regional development. Thereafter, the author gives credit to members of the APC, especially the founder, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, as well as the past and present leaders of the party, former and present holders of elected and appointed offices whose ideas, he said, shaped the policies and programs of APC. The author ends the book with a peep into the future and urged leaders to be prepared for the challenges that will be posed by climate change, artificial intelligence, and other new technologies. The chairman, sir, the strength of the book. The author set out to articulate, chronicle, and document the impact of progressive governance in Nigeria as delivered by the All Progressives Party in the last decade. Without an iota of doubt, the author has achieved this. The book is brilliantly written and the timing couldn't be better. And like they say, it's probably the book whose time has come. The book deserves credit first for its originality, both in concept and in execution. The uniqueness and rigor that went into the book draw my admiration. The coverage is extensive and the analysis is quite deep. The true value of the book lies not only in the rigor and depth of research, but also in the presentation. The weakness. Like all works of man, the book is not without flaws. Most of it, however, are of the editorial nature that can be easily dealt with in subsequent editions or publications. The other weakness, as expected, can be filled by a second volume, or as we see in books of this nature, they've created opportunities for others to contribute to the subject of progressive governance in the country. My recommendation: this is a book about governance and politics. And so who should read this? My sincere response would be everyone who has an interest in governance and politics in Nigeria, and this might just be everyone. Conclusion. Mr. Chairman, His Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I've had the privilege of reviewing a good number of books in my career. This one stands out for its originality, the uniqueness, and the purpose for which it was written. Without doubt, it will serve as a valuable reference document for a long time to come. But please do not take my word for it. Make an effort to read the book and form your own opinion. My final words. The chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if I'm given the latitude to share one of my favorite sections of the book, it will be found in the last paragraph of the conclusion, where the author made bold to give credit to the opposition. I quote, "I thank the opposition for keeping us on our toes and for challenging us to be a better political party. We know we have not solved all the problems of this country, and this was never our promise. But as progressives, have we set Nigeria on a path of renewed hope? The answer is yes." Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Prof. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, as I often say, the only thing tougher than being a man is being a married man. And if I may add, the only thing tougher than being a married man is being an Igbo married man. Because a lot of responsibilities rest on those shoulders. Without wasting further time, it's time to invite Imo State has been blessed with very great leaders. From the time of the late Sam Ononakambakwe, who cried out to the federal government to help Imo people. And when they did not respond, he challenged our parents to contribute 1 naira, and they built the Imo State Airport. Imo State have been blessed with leaders like the one that I'm about to introduce, a very visionary leader of this great state, the man who has encapsulated his program in the 3R agenda of reconstruction, rehabilitation, and recovery of the former glory of this great state. I'm talking about the author of a decade of impactful progressive governance in Nigeria and the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum. Please, if those hands are a big round of applause, I invite our governor, your governor, the governor of Imo State, distinguished Senator Hope Odidika Ozadema. Your Excellency, talk to us.
Let me align myself with the protocol already established. Your Excellency, Mr. President, distinguished guests, esteemed members of our great party, I warmly, with due humility, welcome all of us to this special occasion. Latest book, A Decade of Impactful Progressive Governance in Nigeria. Looking across this hall and seeing leaders of our great party, scholars, traditional rulers, the clergy, and friends gathered under one roof, I'm reminded again Nigeria's story is never written by one person. It is written together. And that is exactly why we are here today. This book is the product of months of deep reflection, careful research, and writing. as a citizen with a responsibility to document this pivotal decade in our national history. I felt duty-bound to tell the story as it is. No sugarcoat. I must first acknowledge our leader, the President and the Father of the nation, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, whose pragmatic ideas and decisive leadership inspired many of the chapters you will find in this book. When I mentioned the idea of this book, response I get was unanimous. Yes, it's time. And I agree. Not only did we need to document what we have done, but many, even within our party, don't realize the full extent of what we have achieved. As I dug into the data and stories, what I discovered we have achieved surprised even me. There's a depth of seriousness and serious efforts of government that don't always get recognition. It is that. Either because of poor propaganda machinery or because the party is so serious focused on achieving results. Because from the moment APC made history in 2015, by defeating an incumbent party, it was clear it had become more than just a political party. It had become a movement. A courageous response to the yearnings of Nigerians for real change. And what APC came with and came for was change. That momentum has carried us through 3 national elections. Each one there felt the trust placed in us by the people. As I began digging into the material, I was struck by the scale of what had been done. Much of it unnoticed. Many of them quickly forgotten. Are we talking of the roads? Are we talking of the bridges? Are we talking of the railway projects? What about agriculture? The digital economy? The healthcare reforms? The fight against insecurity? And the bold physical policies? They may not all have been perfect. But the truth remains that they shifted Nigeria in a right direction that nobody could ignore. Documenting these developments reminded me that the work of governance is often tactless in a moment, but its impacts unfolds over time. I must again pay tribute here to the leadership of our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. His courage and clarity have carried this party and this country through many transitions. Long before he became the president, his ideas and his persistence shaped the progressive family. Many of the reforms we now take for granted had their roots in his insistence that Nigeria must do things differently. Let me paraphrase from my book on the role of our visionary president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the role he played in the formation of APC as the arrowhead 2030. The milestone of God under his watch because he is used to scoring first. It was he that worked relentlessly to bring together minds in 2013 to found the All Progressive Congress. It was this coalition of what looked like a cacophony of strange bedfellows that this legendary political leader and veteran of high report, as well as meet together to form a formidable family of common political ideas that will remove the equivalent government. This happened because in the 2 years between this found and this self-elected president, the APC have come together to present a clean break from a system that has grown arrogant, a system that became complacent and insulated from the realities of Nigeria. So, to a very large extent, the unprecedented electoral triumph of APC in 2015 was largely due to the political dexterity and flexibility of our own Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Who by the special grace of God became president of Nigeria in 2023. The same of the same. The same of his predecessor in office, the late President Muhammad Buhari, who carried the baton at a different stage of this journey. He left a mark, contributed to the building of a party and a government that Nigerians could believe in. I'm grateful today to the national chairman of our great party, Professor Netero Yowada, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the President of the Senate, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, members of Progressive Governors Forum, for their encouragement, the energy that kept our party going. What stands out is not only what we promised, but how we consistently have worked together to deliver on those promises. More importantly, I hope this book reminds us that APC is not just a party to win elections. APC is built on values, equity, inclusion, service, and discipline. These values must always shape how we govern. Of course, no governing party is without its critics. Reforms are very hard, sometimes or most times very painful, sometimes also misunderstood, but they are very, very necessary, globally speaking. And it is the only path to long-term prosperity. The truth is, some interests who benefited from the old order, the broken systems, are bound to resist change. The Nigerians, as always, are seeing through the white noise. They can now see the new roads, they can see the new bridges, they can see the new rails, the stabilizing economy, the growing opportunities. Is it not wonder that for the first 6 months, the exchange rate has been stable? That is why I consider this book timely as a record of the past, as well as a rallying point. To that end, I will ensure that copies are distributed to all APC structures, from the national level to the world level, up to the polling units, because our members will be able to beat their chest and say these are the achievements of APC in Nigeria. We will also work to digitize the book, making it available to every Nigerian. This is my humble contribution to deepening our party's internal education and public accountability. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, our book reviewer has already done justice to the book, but allow me as the author to briefly tease each chapter, just enough to whet your appetite to be able to go into the full text of the book. In chapter 1 of the book, the chapter takes us back long before APC came to power, to the traditions of progressive politics in our country. It traces the ideas of social justice, equity, and people-centered governance that ran through earlier movements and parties. That history matters because it explains why Nigerians welcome APC. In this next chapter, it explains the meaning of progressivity, what progressive governance means, and how it is applied to our society. It is not an imported slogan, but a philosophy that speaks to our Nigerian realities of community, solidarity, inclusion, and service. The chapter makes the case that our version of progressive governance is practical, is not an abstract. It showcases how progressive governance has shaped our policies and distinguished our approach as politics of inclusion. The APC manifesto and its core policies, every party must be judged by what it promises and what it pursues. This chapter lays out the manifesto of APC and how it took Nigerians in 2015. And that mandate given to APC in 2015 was put to test again in 2019. Nigerians gave us the mandate. In 2023, the mandate was again renewed. So Nigerians are committed to the change APC brought. So I'm not in doubt whether APC has performed or not, but our inability to document our performance has always been the issue. The next chapter reflects on how these commitments gave direction to government action. It highlights the consistency of our message, which is to build a country where prosperity is broad-based and where the institutions are strong. I dragged it up to chapter 4, saying the sectoral achievements. When you go to that chapter, the focus shifts from promises to delivery. The chapter surveys achievements sector by sector. It is a wide lens on how the APC decade touched daily life. The point here is not to claim perfection, but to present evidence that steady progress was made even in difficult times. So the progressive policies that were in action, policies mean little until they are felt in people's life. This chapter brings the policies down to earth. If you recall the Anchor Borrowers program that empowered farmers, National Social Investment Program that supported the poor, school feeding for people, interventions in housing and jobs, of late, students' loan. We've been told again of the World Development Program that will put minimum of 1,000 active businesses in each world. The next chapter, which is a comparative analysis of pre-APC and then the APC era from 2005 to 2015 and 2015 to 2025. This chapter provides contrast. It looks back at the decade before APC came to power and sets it against the decade of APC governance. The comparison here is not to thread blame, but to understand the differences and then allow the public to judge. In chapter 7 of the book, which recognizes the APC's approach to inclusive governance, progressive politics must embrace inclusion. This chapter highlights how the APC advanced women participation in politics, gave the youth more voice, and carried the minorities, and the only political party that provided opportunity and offices for special citizens. It also recognizes the importance of recognizing diversity as a strength, not weakness. Look at our international image. During this decade, we have witnessed Nigeria asserting itself more confidently abroad. The chapter reviews foreign policy engagement, peacekeeping contributions, trade, partnerships, and regional leadership. I am proud to see my president in faraway Paris discussing one-on-one with the president of France, discussing one-on-one with the president of Brazil, discussing one-on-one with the president of Japan. Our image at the global stage has incrementally been strengthened, courtesy of APC governance. Now, within these 10 years, we brought chapter 9 to identify the lessons we learned. Every journey in life has obstacles, and the APC decade is no exception. This chapter reflects on insecurity in Nigeria and the world. What are the economic shocks? The global crisis like COVID-19 pandemic, the internal party tensions, we were able to resolve them. It admits also where mistakes were made, also identifies what was lacked and how best to correct and move forward. The closing chapter of the book, which is chapter 10, gathers the lessons of these 10 years and at the end of the day, raise a big question: what next? It outlines priorities, sustaining reforms, deepening inclusiveness, diversifying the economy, and strengthening our democracy. This final chapter invites every Nigerian to see themselves as part of the journey to a stronger future. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, before I close, a word on timing. This book was finalized and published in May 2025. Naturally, it carries a cutoff point. History does not wait for anyone, and events have already moved forward since the last chapter of this book. We must congratulate the reform posture of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that have started yielding results. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria that our government is being run based only on non-oil revenue. It has never happened. Everything has been oil revenue, oil revenue. But today, the FAC committee has been dealing with non-oil revenue. And today I'm happy to announce that the projects launched today by the President in Imo State were all made possible because of the increased revenue we are receiving from the federal. So what has happened since then only strengthens the spirit of this book. At the time I was writing, the signs of recovery were very visible. Today, those signs have matured into tangible progress. Inflation has dropped to levels not seen in years. The prices of food staples, which once climbed painfully, are coming down. The naira, which has been under pressure, has regained stability. State governments now have access to stronger revenues, giving us the resources to invest in our people with greater confidence. Equally important is Nigeria's trade performance. For 6 consecutive quarters, that is about 1.5 years since the middle of 2023, our country has recorded a trade surplus. In simple words, we are selling more than the world. We are selling more to the world than we are buying. In the first quarter of this year, the surplus stood at over 5 trillion naira. By the second quarter, it has jumped by more than 40% to over 7 trillion naira. Our exports rose, imports dipped, and for the first time in a long time, non-oil exports like manufactured goods and solid minerals were part of the driving force. This is what a healthier economy looks like. An economy that earns more than it spends, that creates jobs at home and strengthens our currency abroad. For us in Imo State, these improvements are the fuel behind an infrastructure renaissance that touches every local government. Roads, bridges, urban renewal projects are moving at a speed that was once impossible. Beyond infrastructure, the new fiscal space has allowed us to invest in people, in education, in health, in welfare, in agriculture, and food security. One area that gives me special pride is how we have treated workers and pensioners in our state. For years, Imo workers cried out for wages that reflect their efforts and the realities of daily life. I dare say, without any fear of contradiction, that Imo workers are today happier than they were years back. Our senior citizens, who once endured neglect, now receive their dues promptly and respectfully. The truth is that the progressive ideas of our great party are steadily transforming this Imo State economic landscape. A new Imo is on the rise. Now the news is, none of this happened in a vacuum. It is the outcome of the visionary and determined leadership at the center, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that has led this country with clarity, taking brave decisions. Others might have avoided, and giving the state the room to flourish. The reforms he has sanctioned are not easy, but they are already yielding results that Nigerians can feel. For this, Mr. President, I express my deepest gratitude, not only on my behalf, but on behalf of millions who now see hope where once they saw only despair. Considering the transformative impact of President's government on the lives of Imo people, and knowing that his visionary policies have rekindled in us the hope of a better future, we in Imo State, we have resolved to stand firmly behind Mr. President for the second term in office. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if I finish this my speech, time will be crying. I want to crave the indulgence of all of us gathered to agree that the point has been made, and to God be the glory. Thank you for listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, please step now to your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, please step now to your seats. Let us all become the calm and supportive. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please settle down. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats and settle down. Thank you. Your Excellency, the author has spoken. The book is about to be presented now, and it will be presented to the public by no other than one of Nigeria's frontline entrepreneurs. Let me welcome the book presenter, Alhaji Rabiu Isiaku Rabiu, to present this book. Let us appreciate him as he comes to the microphone. Thank you. Your Excellency, we present to you the book presenter, Rabiu Isiaku Rabiu, Chairman, IRS Airlines. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, Your Excellency, President of the Senate, Senator Goodwill Akpabio, GCON, your Right Honorable Speaker, Abbas Tajuddin, GCON, Your Excellencies, the governors here present, Royal Fathers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to stand on already established protocol. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine a Nigeria where every child goes to school. Imagine a Nigeria where every farmer becomes wealthy from harvest. Imagine a Nigeria where every hospital is world class. Imagine a Nigeria where every road leads to opportunity. And imagine a Nigeria where every young man can build a dream with dignity. This is what this book is about. It's a vision, it's a dream that can come true under the leadership of those in government, under the leadership of elected officials of the APC, under the vision and leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Mr. President, you have paid your own dues. You have done well. You have a good record. You are selfless. You are hardworking. You are committed and you are patriotic. Mr. President, we remember when you were able to forge the unity of political parties from ACN to CPC to ANPP to a portion of ABGA and to the new people. Therefore, that was how APC was formed, and you are instrumental to doing that. We congratulate you for bringing APC to life. Mr. President, you also showed selflessness and sacrifice when you supported Atiku Abubakar under AC. You also supported Nuhu Ribado under ACN, and ultimately, you supported our late President Muhammadu Buhari under APC. And when you thought it was time for you to take the mantle of leadership, and when Shop got to push, you showed your courage and your boldness, and you came out and said, Emelekon. That is a president with a vision, with boldness, with courage. And APC, yes, it's about a political party, but it is about Nigeria. Mr. President has the vision of taking Nigeria to places it has never been. Mr. President has the commitment to serve not only members of the APC, but all Nigerians. And with this vision, we now know that we can take one of us and believe him and trust him and be faithful that he will serve all of us. He will bring us together. He will give us opportunities to grow. He will give us opportunities to prosper. He will fight insecurity. He will fight drug abuse. He will fight with corruption. He will ensure that farmers get the support they need, from fertilizers to solar pump boreholes to insecticides, and will ensure that Nigerians have the opportunity to have affordable, available foods with the support he's given and intervention in food supply. Now, remember, a few months ago, rice was over 120,000. Today is about 50,000 naira. And Mr. President is not stopping at that. He thought about our farmers. He said, well, food is now cheap. What about our farmers? Therefore, he supported the farmers with fertilizers and inputs that are going to make it possible for them to make money, to grow, to send their children to school, and to be able to pay for their rents and transportation. With the foundation laid by our former president-elect Muhammadu Buhari under the APC, putting up infrastructure, fighting corruption, building roads and all that, President took off from there. But when he came, he met a situation that would put Nigeria in peril. Because if we had continued with the fuel subsidy, today we will be bankrupt and we will not even have the fuel that we need. So it was a bold decision that the President had to take, and he took it as he usually does. That action alone brought opportunities for us to have the revenues we have today, to put them in healthcare, in education, in infrastructure, in so many other areas. In fact, Mr. President saw a problem in Nigeria that was causing loss of light. That is the problem between herders and farmers. What did he do? He created the Ministry of Livestock, a ₦1 trillion value chain that will bring peace amongst our people, that will help the farmers develop. This is what we need. This is what we require in leadership. And this is what Mr. President is doing. Mr. President was also able to unify the exchange rate and brought about transparency and investor confidence. Mr. President is very serious about investment, and he has attracted billions to Nigeria from his last 2 years in office. And let me tell you a story. I know how committed Mr. President is with investors and investments. 22 years ago, when I was operating my airline called IRS Airlines, we started operating in Lagos, and well, it's a problem because President has made so many achievements, and we're not just talking about books now, we're talking about what he has done. So you can hear that and appreciate that and know that this is a true leader that we need and deserve, and that will take Nigeria to the promised land. Ibo Kwenu, Ibo Kwenu, Ibo Kwenu, are you with the President? Do you support him? Do you believe in him? Is he going to take us to the promised land? Well, let me tell you a secret. I'm not a politician, but I support Mr. President. And this is what we are going to continue to do in the areas of education, healthcare, infrastructure. I can't name them all, but we'll continue to pray and support Mr. President. Let me seize this opportunity to say it is an honor and a privilege for me to recommend this book, not only to APC members, but to every Nigerian who is interested in development, interested in unity, interested in progress, interested in ensuring that our kids have education, healthcare, infrastructure. It is a good book, and I'm going to give my contribution when I talk to the author, who I have not incidentally recognized, chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Chief Hope Uzadima, may God bless you for bringing this to reality. Chairman APC, please continue your good work. We have faith and confidence in you. Senate President, Right Honorable Speaker, yes, there is separation of power, but whenever the President comes with a case that is in the interest, welfare, well-being, progress, productivity, prosperity, positivity of Nigerians, you always support that. Please continue to do that. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you very much. We appreciate. We do not want to take time for granted because we don't have it. Time is no longer our friend, but the President, in his magnanimity, has allowed only 2 goodwill messages, and we are going to take those quickly. First to speak will be our highly respected and revered His Royal Majesty, Igwe Nemeka Chebe, the Obi of Onitsha. Please a big round of applause for Agbogidi. Agbogidi. That's towering monarch, as the Igbos would say. Welcome, His Royal Majesty.
Your Excellency, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our host on this amazing occasion, Your Excellency, Governor Hope Uzodimma, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'll start on established protocol. The day has gone quite far, but then sitting down, I didn't realize how much time has gone because the purpose of our gathering here today, the subject of our meeting, is so intriguing and so amazing. From the opening statement by the party chairman, who gave us a flavor, to the book review that gave us an insight to the book, and then, of course, the amazing address by the author of the book, the governor of Imo State. Very panoramic statement. There's hardly anything to add to what has been said. And of course, the book presenter spoke about Mr. President, his vision, his courage at trying to transform the country on a sustainable development going forward. All I can say is to thank God for a day like this, to congratulate Governor Hope Uzodimma for all he's doing and for having time to write not just this particular book, but three books before then. I know I'm trying to write a few books. I know how difficult it is. And Eugene Abu spoke about late nights, early morning inspirations, and distractions. And you've gone through all that, including your main job, which Imo State people elected you to do, to govern Imo State. And for all of that, we thank God for you. We thank God for Mr. President. And let me say, the road up to now has been difficult, but the road ahead is probably going to be more difficult. But then the book gives us a roadmap, and we hope that the book is made available as widely as possible. Because, as you said, Governor Hope Uzodimma, that a lot of things are happening people don't know. And by documenting, we've done a great service to the people of Nigeria. And for that, very much. I thank Mr. President for coming and for leading us with courage. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
All right. Presidential instruction is that you complete your assignment, sir.
I will complete my assignment, but before I do that, I would like to respectfully remind Mr. President that when you came to Kano in 2023 campaign and we hosted you, Mr. President, the Kano Business Group requested on behalf of the Nigerian businesses for the rivers to be opened all the way to Niger State, to Barrow Port, to Lokoja. We are reminding you of that promise, Mr. President, because APC is a party that keeps its promises. Do you agree? Do you agree? Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to present this book. I recommend it to each and every person who is interested in the development, unity, prosperity, and development of Nigeria. The book is A Decade of Impactful Progressive Governance in Nigeria, 10 years of APC in governance. May God show us the next 10, 100, and 1,000 years, and more and more and more prosperity, peaceful existence of our people, end to banditry, kidnapping, and all the ills we are facing today. Mr. President, thank you also for making a historic support to the defense budget that has never ever been done. That means you are seeing the communities that are suffering under this banditry and insurgency. We thank you for that, and we encourage you to do whatever you can so that all the people that are losing their lives can live in peace in their communities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, book presenter Rabiu Isiaku Rabiu. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me now respectfully invite the President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chairman of the National Assembly to make his brief remarks on this occasion. Please join me as we welcome to the microphone His Excellency, President of the Senate, distinguished Senator Goodwill. Thank you.
To God be the glory. Igbo kwenu. My in-laws kwenu. Kwenu. Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, Chairman of our great party, Professor himself, then the host, Governor Hope Uzodinma and his dear wife, my brother, the Right Honorable Speaker, the Deputy Senate President, the Deputy Speaker, distinguished senators, our party elders, former chairman, particularly Chiba Konde, and then of course, Governor Ganduje, Chief Olusegun Oshoba. I've seen a host of governors who are here. And ladies and gentlemen, because of time, let me rest on the protocols. Mr. President, I'm speechless. On a day like this, I should not say anything. I should just absorb what I've seen here. I'm a man that believes strongly in development and progress. Our royal father came, and in a few minutes, he was able to impact knowledge on us. Then my brother, Isiaku Rabiu, came and was able to list even the things that APC have been doing under your tenure. Mine is to thank the governor of Imo State for deciding to put history in writing. 10 years of impactful leadership of the APC administration in Nigeria. If you don't tell your story, others will tell the stories for you. So, Mr. President, you told me that you must be here because this is for generations yet unborn. On behalf of the National Assembly, myself and Right Honorable Speaker, and all the members here, we want to say congratulations to the performing governor of Imo State, himself a legislator. It is not just building infrastructure, it's the quality of the infrastructure. It is the quality of the infrastructure. Mr. President, the people of Imo State must be very, very, very excited. Progressiveness is in action. It is when I came to Imo State and I saw the roads today that I realized I was a governor. 18 years ago, I was a progressive. I was a progressive because of the things I did. So when you put us together all over the country, from one small mustard seed in Lagos, you started showing the way can do to the entire nation. The nation embrace it. Get ready to accept more governors, because there are many progressive-minded governors in other parties in Nigeria. They are all waiting to join you. This is beautiful. Even where I'm sitting, I've not seen anybody use a paper to find himself. So that shows you the quality of the infrastructure here. And guess what? Governor Hope Uzodinma is from the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So it will be good for you to go to the National Assembly first before you go and aspire to be a governor, so that you can learn from there and then come back and impact on your people. 10 years, we are moving forward. Mr. President, if I say you are doing well, they will say, it's rubber stamping what the president is doing. But others are saying it, and they are not politicians. If I say you have made it possible for the poor to access tertiary education, they will say it is the Senate President that said it. But others are saying it, and those who are beneficiaries are saying so. If I say you are improving the lot of the Nigerians when it comes to food production, those who are benefiting are saying it. If I say we were not sure of the situation when you came on board in 2023, but today Nigeria has stabilized under your leadership, everybody has seen that. When you remove the fuel subsidy, people thought Nigeria was going to collapse, but Nigeria is standing. As I'm talking to you now, sir, if I say that Coastal Road is a reality, it was something people were talking about for over 50 years. You know what led to militancy in Niger Delta? They kept promising us that of course, your development is in the pipeline. Your development is in the pipeline. After decades, our people started breaking the pipeline to bring out the development. But in your own case, you came. You didn't tell us that the Coastal Road is in the pipeline. You said Coastal Road is a reality. You said fuel subsidy is gone. You said my students must obtain education. You said there must be food on the table. And you started walking the talk. God will assist you tomorrow. God will assist you tomorrow. Nigeria is on the way. Chairman of the party and chairman of the occasion, congratulations. Governor Uzodinma, do more for your people, and history will not forget you. I thank you all for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching the climax of the ceremony, and as we approach the climax, let me now, at this point in time, in readiness for the climax of this, invite Your Excellencies, Their Excellencies, all the state governors who are here to please step forward and take a position in front here. Their Excellencies, all the governors, His Excellency, Their Excellencies, the President of the Senate, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Deputy Senate President, and the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, to please step forward here.
the national chairman of the APC, please step forward. And of course, our dear First Lady of Imo State. Let me also invite the book presenter to come forward. We are all flanked here. Thank you so very much. Thank you. And as they take their positions, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, just a quick note as they take their position. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. With the unveiling, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Right, thank you so very much, and I will crave the indulgence of Mr. President at this point in time. Please take your seats. And now, for the purpose of delivering his address, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's put our hands together for His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as he delivers his message. Thank you.
God bless you. Your Excellencies, let me thank our royal fathers and stand on the existing protocol. They've endured the day. I've listened to our father. We should thank God that we have today. We have them, all of them here present. I could see the father on your Ife, Esunupe, and many of you here present. Thank you for enduring the day. It is that period of the year where we remember the history of our country. And looking back 65 years ago, that we work hard. Our forefathers handed over to us the sovereignty of this country, the independence. We were happy, we celebrated. We brought down the toga of the colonialism. And we started a future of our own. That future is with a lot of challenges, yet it's been very, very challenging. 10 years ago, our great party, all the Progressive Congress, came into office on the promise of change. That change, it is being witnessed here today. The old way has brought our nation close to collapse. A break with that past was not an option. It was the only way forward. We broke the jinx. Today we gather not only to launch a book, but to reflect on a decade of collective effort and sacrifice. I commend my dear brother, Governor Hope Unsodima. Good job, good thinking, highly progressive, a man of a great vision. Well done. I mean, the project that I commissioned on our way here, but to even put the thinking of a good, a progressive thinking together to author a book is a very, very challenging thing. I've tried, but I've not succeeded on a number of occasions. By recording the milestone and struggles of the 10 years that we've gone through, he has given Nigeria a gift no nation can afford to forget its own journey, and no leader should escape the duty of stewardship. I stand before you confident, yet humble enough to say that Nigeria is no longer where it was 10 years ago. We've passed that. We promised a change. Today I can confidently tell you that the worst is over. I know what I took over. Don't go back. Look forward. We have a Renew Hope agenda, and we have a book authored by Hope. Isn't that celebrative enough? Under the leadership of President Muhammad Buhari, our party began the work of stabilization. May so rest in peace. Yes, many years passed, mistakes were made, but the direction of our country shifted for the better ever since we came to power. In the second quarter of year 2025, Nigeria's economy grew by 4.23%. That growth is with purpose, not just on paper. It is real growth. Inflation has fallen to 20.12% in August, the lowest in more than 3 years. This means relief is slowly but surely reaching out to our people. You may not feel it yet. Be patient. I thank you for your resilience. I thank you for your endurance. I thank you for your perseverance. Nigeria is changing for better. You will get the benefit. Today, our external reserves stand at $42.03 billion, the highest since 2019. This is the proof that Nigeria is regaining its strength and credibility in the global economy. Our trade surplus rose by more than 44% in the last quarter, while manufactured exports surged by 173%. These numbers speak of a Nigeria that's producing, exporting, and competing more than ever before. It's a better Nigeria. Naira has steadied. Foreign exchange reforms and new investment flows are restoring confidence in our economy. Still, we are not yet where we want to be. The path has been steep. I know it has been rough. We will continue to walk slowly up, but steadily now, with our arm on the plow. No looking back. We are going to get to the top of the mountain. The sign of recovery is undeniable. Our critics, our enemies, can say whatever they want. Because they don't know any better. Their arithmetic has always been wrong. We understand financial engineering and progressive methodology much better than they do. That's why we are here. Stay the course. Believe in us. Because we believe in you. We trust the future. Today, headed by true federalism, there is no state governor of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that is borrowing money to pay salary. Today, you can drive on roads that are solid, that may outlive some of us. You can dream big. Today, your children are in school. No child should go to bed hungry and not able to study in the university. No child should be excluded from being able to pass and be admitted for higher education. Nigeria is a proud and sovereign nation, but on the resilience of its people, we are proud of every one of you. Yeah. They lie all over the place that we have religious persecution that differences. No. We are more developed, civilized, and well-educated. Yes, we learn English, but we teach English too. Our Muslim brothers and sisters and Christian brothers and sisters and fathers are helping us to build a nation. We are united. No religious persecution in Nigeria is a lie from the pit of hell. I've always believed in good governance. And since I assumed office, I focused on your welfare. Today, Nigeria can say confidently, we have a well-equipped hospitals and we can treat critical illness such as cancer and other illnesses. We are investing in the welfare of our people. That's what you are doing. Every aspect of the pain in our economy is because of the future. And I am giving you that confidence that right now, this economy will work for you. Not for the smugglers, not for the corrupt people. You have been patient. You will persevere with us. You build an understanding. I assure you, Nigeria has just turned the corner. You will see prosperity. You will have it. Those who are talking ill of this country should stop doing so. It's 65 years of independence It's not a joke. We are proud of our forefathers. We are proud of what they believe, that Nigeria should be one, that it must be an all-inclusive government, that we must take care of the elderly, we must take care of the vulnerables, we must educate our children, build welfare that will take care of our healthcare system. Invest in mechanization in agriculture and irrigation. We have plenty of food in this country and more to export to other countries. The last decade was a time of change. The coming decade will be an era of renewal and stability. And that future, together, Nigeria will win. We win with you. I thank Governor Uzodimma for his commitment and scholarship. And I thank the people of Imo. I thank his wife too for all the endurance and perseverance. I thank people of Imo for your warm hospitality. Imo Bueno. Imo Bueno. May God bless you. And God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The President has spoken. I'd like to call on traditional rulers for a photograph now, please, with Mr. President. Traditional rulers, only traditional rulers should come forward. Only traditional rulers should come forward. Only traditional rulers. I'd like to call for the national anthem at this time. Nigeria. Native land, don't try friends of in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all up to serve our sovereign motherland. Our growth shall be our symbol. That truth and justice reign in peace and battle honor. And this we count as gain, to hand unto our children.
from the wheat of sin. O God of all creation, from this our one request, send us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so him to eat and plenty until your
Thank you very much. This event stands closed. Please clear the pathway for His Excellency to make his way out of the hall. On behalf of Chief Oke Bakassi, Mr. Cyril Stober, and my humble self, Eugenia Abu, it has been a pleasure to serve. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. One time. Yes, sir. DJ, please take me there. One time. Hey. Check, check, check. Here we go, 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 go. Che, Empire Mona, see. ECO Media. One time. Here we go, go. DJ, please take me there. DJ, please take me there. One time, here we go, go. Enjoy the city of
Television. You've been watching our live coverage of the book launch brought to you by the administration of Governor Hope Uzodimma of Imo State, an event themed 1 decade of progressive, impactful leadership in Nigeria. Attended, of course, by President Bola Tinubu. And this marks the end of the broadcast as we now return to the rest of our programming for the day. Do stay on with us.
You've been watching a live Channels television event.
To you people, support us, help us, we are working together. To our Chinese friends, we say thank you for your friendship. To my fellow Nigerians, let us embrace the opportunity that our partnership with China presents while remaining proud of our heritage and values.
There's also the rich display of Chinese culture portrayed by Nigerian and Chinese citizens.